In today's episode of Manabonded, Josh gives tips on eating laundry detergent. Yeah, don't do a big pod, guys. Just don't. It's so bad. Zack tells us how he counterfeits $2 bills.
Just have about 9 of them on a single page, and you can print them all out and then cut them out.
Nate talks about his journey in finding good rocket fuel.
Also, on top of that, is finding things that have a similar enough effect but are less scary.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mana Bonded. It's a Magic the Gathering advice podcast where we take your questions, give you advice, and if you follow our advice, good luck to you. I'm Josh, your host, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Nate and Zach. Say hey, guys.
Hey guys!
That's me, Zack.
All right. Well, I want to catch up with you guys. How's your week been? We got Thanksgiving coming up. How you guys doing?
I mean,
Hanging in.
doing pretty good. I gotta help run F&M this last week because the person who works at the shop and runs it, she was gone for the Star City Open that's been in Vegas this last week.
Oh, yeah?
So down there playing Magic, Lorcana, other people playing Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. What was the event?
I think it's just called the Star City Open.
No, your Friday. What'd you guys do on Friday then?
Friday for F&M, we split it up currently. A lot of people are really into Pauper at the moment. So we have usually a group of Pauper players and then a group of Commander players. And so I kind of ran the Commander stuff because I'm still working on putting together some Pauper decks. And then the other guy that was helping, he was running the Pauper side of things.
I would like to get into Pauper, I think. I've looked at a couple different Pauper decks, and of course I'm just drawn to like the Pauper Storm decks. They just look the most interesting to me.
Of course you are.
Yeah, sorry. When I first looked at it, like a couple years ago, I was like, all right, what's it take for a Pauper Storm deck? And it's like 4 Lotus Petal, and I'm like, at the time they were like $20-$30. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm out. I can't. Nope, never mind. I guess I'm not playing Pauper. But now that Lotus Petals are like super cheap, and I'm pretty sure I already have 3 of them, I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I do.
Possibility.
Yeah, maybe I do get into some Pauper Storm stuff. I've been playing a lot more Arena lately. I'm trying to. The economy is so bad in Arena, just like real life. And it's so
literally
difficult to get rare cards and wild cards when I just don't play that much and I don't spend a lot of money on the platform. And so I'm just like desperately trying to like get a few measly wild cards to spend on this like control deck that I've been building. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. That's why with Arena I mostly just stick to Brawl.
Yeah.
And I can get my dailies in pretty easy and then not worry about it.
Yeah, I do my dailies through Brawl. I build like a Brawl deck for basically every color combo so that no matter what colors it wants me to play for my dailies, I just have them. Like today it was red and green spells, and I built Tanook Memorial Ensign Brawl deck, which is the landfall. When a land enters, deal 1 damage to each opponent. If it's the second time this ability has resolved, also draw a card. And it's just real simple red-green landfall, stupid stuff that I just spit out and hopefully win. But if not, at least I'm playing the amount of spells I need to, right?
Right.
True.
Yeah. Zach, you prepping for Thanksgiving, or are you going down to your parents?
Yeah, just pretty standard stuff, getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Figuring out what we're going to do between me and my partner's families and where we're going to be and when.
Yeah.
But overall, nothing too crazy.
You're each of your parents are kind of on other opposite ends of the valley, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, do they at least split it up, like one family does it the day before, one family does it day of, or is it all on Thanksgiving Day?
I think this year it's kind of fallen on the same day, so it's like probably half the day one place, half the day the other, but we'll see.
That's one thing that my dad's side of the family have always appreciated. They're just like, we get that like we're probably not your first choice for Thanksgiving, so if you want, we're gonna do all of our Thanksgiving stuff this year. They're doing it Wednesday. They're like, everybody just come on down Wednesday, and we'll do our big Thanksgiving stuff then, and then day of you can
Nice.
have on your own.
Nice.
But we're not actually going down for Thanksgiving this year. We're gonna stay down here in Utah for a bit because last month and the month before we drove a lot back and forth.
Yeah.
Just a crazy amount of trips to Idaho and back. And so we're like, we're going to sit for a bit and prepare for the Christmas travel, and we'll be good there.
That's fair.
But
I feel like Christmas is a bit bigger of a holiday than Thanksgiving, so
it is for me. I really love like Thanksgiving just because like I'm a big family guy. I love to go hang out with my family and get to see them and have a great time with them.
Yeah.
And so I really do enjoy Thanksgiving, but Christmas is just that with more food, and also I get presents from people. So it's just better. It's a strictly better holiday.
There you go.
Yeah. So I wanted to start off the podcast, and I had a bit of a question for you guys. Now I mentioned that I had this question, but I didn't tell you what it was because I really wanted just your off the cuff gut reaction, shoot for the moon answer on this one. We've been doing this as of this episode's release, this will be 1 month of us doing this, which is wild to think about. It's already been a month.
Get the air horn.
Yeah, exactly. I'll find an air horn noise. I will. I'll put it right here. Wasn't that so cool? Anyway, since we've been doing this for a month, and we plan to keep doing it for, at the minimum, another 11 months, I think it would be fun to try to get some guests on and absolutely just shoot our shot at anyone that we think we would have fun with on this show, right? Anyone as big as you can think, as small as you can think. I want to know, who do you guys want to have on the show? Let's start. Nate, give us
who's our
name.
Dream guest.
Yeah, dream guest.
Man, right.
We'll get two apiece from you guys. Nate, what's your first one?
Okay, two pieces. That makes it a lot easier.
Short explanation of why too.
Yes.
Yeah. As somebody who has a long time ago at this point, actually played with Jimmy from the Command Zone.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I like his vibe. He's got a nice energy about him. He feels like a guy that can sit and chat for quite a while on just random topics and stuff. I had a lot of fun playing with him. I've got a picture somewhere of after the game, and I got him to sign my playmat.
I remember
I'm still
that,
waiting on a time where I can meet up with Josh Lee Kwai to get him to sign it as well, because I've also got the entire cast of Loading Ready Run at the time who signed it.
This is how we do it. This is how we get to Josh Lee Kwai, is
Right.
We shoot him an email or whatever, and we get him on the podcast. And then at our next MagicCon we go to, you get to meet up with him and be like, hey, remember me? And he's like, I remember you. And he signs it. This is how we do it.
Yep.
So
that's I remember you. We were Manabonded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. That's it.
The other one is definitely a very doable answer. One of the people that contributed a lot of questions to our thing is Tristan.
Oh yeah, you just want to put Tristan
on my buddy. Yeah. One of my buddies who's been friends. I've been friends with for almost as long as I've been friends with Zack and Josh. So definitely
that's us.
Guy that'd be nice to get on here because he's got a lot of fun magic takes and got a lot of really good energy for stuff in general.
Yeah. Can I just say I'm a little surprised that you didn't name one specific name, and I think if you had a third guess, I'm pretty sure I know who it would be, but okay. I think it would be I think you would absolutely love it if we could get Brandon Sanderson on.
Oh, absolutely. That was not really in my brain of possibilities, because while Tristan would be easy. Basically, like, hey, you want to come on and do this? Get him on anytime you want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I message Tristan like Thursday or Friday and say, hey, you want to be on our next episode? He'd be like, yeah, I'm in.
I bet you that I can message him same day and get him on.
Yeah.
Get him on right now, actually. He's on speed dial.
Exactly.
I don't know. I could message him and try, but we won't do that this time. This is a hypothetical for the future.
We'll say that.
But no. And Jimmy and Josh, those guys are very popular, but they're also, they're content creators making cross content.
They're very popular.
But then Brandon Sanderson is like, it's Brandon Sanderson, the most
one of the greatest fantasy writers of our generation.
Yeah, and then like one of the most prolific like selling authors of our generation. There's very few authors that beat him in numbers, partially because there's very few authors that write as much as he does. But
It's crazy that this man can pump out not just quantity, but quality as well. Just a crazy amount of good books, good fantasy novels, just
yeah,
constantly. And he's a big Magic guy. So it
he
would be
is.
so fun to have him on the podcast and chat with him
Yeah,
about that.
he does a draft with his staff like once a month, where he just buys a box and then just the staff who want to participate show up, where they rotate who shows up, and then they just draft Magic, and then people are just going to take their stuff that they drafted home with them
That's
because
so
he's
cool.
got money.
Amazing.
If we got to
No,
the point where we had a studio and staff, I would do that with them. We'd be doing like
absolutely.
monthly or every other week. We'd do draft nights because I love
Right.
draft.
The one thing with him though, if we did have him on, I'd want to talk to him about the creative process of doing the add-ons that he did for his Commander Cube. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it a couple episodes ago about just like he has special rules he has for his commander cube
Yes.
and cards
Yeah.
that you can draft that change the rule a little.
Yeah. A few years ago, he did an episode with the Game Nights guys where they drafted his Commander Cube and they went over some of the stuff in there. And in that episode show notes, they have a link to the cards that modified legendary creatures or added things in there. So I think that'd be really cool to talk to about, like, hey, why did you make these choices, to see what's going on with it.
All right. So if we expand this to 3 choices, I think your 3
Yep.
then are in order of realism, right?
Yes.
Of approachability, Tristan, who would be on in
Yep.
5 minutes if we asked. Josh
That
and
might be a
Pretty
tough
Jimmy.
one.
Yeah, Josh and Jimmy from
Yep.
the command zone, who it would probably take us getting a little bigger for them to notice us because I can't
Right.
imagine that. Yeah, I imagine that there's a lot of small content creators who are constantly badgering them about like, hey, please come on our show, please come on our show. So we'd
Oh
just
yeah,
be a
no, no.
drop in the bucket, but it would be great. And then Brandon Sanderson, who I'm not even sure we would make it through his spam folder, you know? I'm pretty
Probably
sure
not.
we would get filtered out through spam. But absolutely, like, this is the kind of answers I want. I want like the creators that you think would be the most fun to work alongside in this podcast and just have them on as a guest, you know?
Right.
So, Zach, what are your answers? Top 3. We'll give you 3.
Top three. There was a guy who was a judge at my local game store
Now wait a minute.
and has since moved away.
Now wait a minute.
And I think his name is pretty familiar.
Now wait a
But
minute.
I think it'd be really cool
Just
to have
also
him as a
happens to be a
podcast guest. Wait a second.
I'm already here, Zach. I'm way ahead of you.
Dreams do come true. Dreams do come true.
Just for the
Wow.
Just for the holiday season. Just for you, baby.
Phenomenal. No, realistically, like the dream would be like the professor from Tulare Community College.
Really, yeah.
Such a wholesome guy, 10 out of 10 person. Does so much for the trans community, does so much for the Magic community. Just like would be so much fun to just be able to talk to him,
Yeah, no, I get
vibe
it.
with him.
He does
Yeah.
have like officially the largest Magic the Gathering channel, right? Like the only one that has surpassed 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I don't
Right.
even
Yep.
think Game
Yep.
Nights and Command Zone have that. So yeah, he's pretty big name, but he
Yeah, he
also
is the
does
biggest.
he does a lot of collaboration with a lot of different people. I've seen him pull a couple speedrunners that I like to watch onto his show that I just didn't know played Magic. But yeah, no, he would be super fun to have on.
Yeah, he'd be a lot of fun to have on. Second one, any of the Play to Win guys, like Cam or
yes.
Dylan.
Cam or
So
Dylan
much
would be
fun.
great.
Like
Their energy is
that
so
would be a ton.
awesome.
Zach, I was thinking about this today actually when I was working, I guess last night. But you and Cam have like such similar energies to me. Like you guys feel like very similar people. I feel like you guys would get along so well.
This is the greatest compliment I've ever received. Thank you. Shout out to Cam.
Absolutely. Dylan, Cam, play to win, boys. Let's get you on. Come on,
Yep,
let's do something cool.
Yep. Third one would be Jace Balerin. I think that would be really cool. He could read my mind, let me know what I'm thinking before I'm even thinking it, make me think things that I'm not even thinking
He
of.
could clean out the
I think it would be
depression from your
great.
mind.
God, There we
get in
go.
there,
There we
just
go. I think he would
Dude,
be a
that
lot of fun.
get a
Yeah.
scrub
that'd be
brush.
so nice.
What is he
Be so
doing
nice.
right now? We need to know. What is he doing?
It sounds like this man is going for a universal reset on the Magic universe, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. I haven't followed the story in a while.
It's probably what the
That's
fractured
fair.
set
That's fair.
is.
It's Reality Fracture is probably
Probably.
going to be something like Time Spiral, where it's just like everything is wrong. Like Bolas is going to have a Bant card or something, and he's going to be like a good guy or whatever. I'm calling it now.
That
If
would
there's a
be
That'd be cool.
Bant
awesome.
Bolas, if there's a Bant colored Bolas, y'all, you guys know how much I love Bant, and you know how much I love Bolas. It will be my greatest achievement to have those cards. Wizards, I
For
know
real.
Reality Fracture's in the future. You've got time to slot another card and make it happen.
I don't know if they're
But
going that
imagine
quickly,
like
but it'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
imagine like a tabloid title, like Jace Belairn tells all, like, oh, how to fix the multiverse and the top 10 ways to fix the multiverse. Boom. What bestiality, is that okay?
What? No,
My
wait, wait,
girlfriend's
wait,
a
wait,
snake.
wait, 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 wait.
Like, I adopted a child I found in a vault.
Yeah.
Top 10
Me
adoption
and my
tips from
Gorgon
Jace.
girlfriend adopted a child.
Yeah, here's my adoption tips for you from the multiverse.
Yeah.
I could use
Yeah,
those,
top
not
10
gonna lie.
adoption tips from Jace Belairn.
See, that is one of my saddest things about is that whole saga is Vraska is always black green.
Right.
I want to make a
Yeah.
deck that's got Loot as the commander and that just has a bunch of the Jaces and Vraskas in it, so that way I can call it Baby's Day Out. But
Oh my gosh, that's
there's
adorable.
no Vraskas I can play on the deck because they're all black green.
I think we could
So
see a Jund Vraska sometime soon. I think that
yeah,
that would be a little like I imagine we'll see a black blue Jace soon, and also a black red green Vraska soon.
well,
Which
my thing is like having Loot as the commander would be a little
yeah,
tricky.
you just do Yidris
So
as the commander, and Yidris is like the babysitter.
There you go.
yeah.
All right. I think for me, the top three guests that I would love to see, and I would love to have on and just chat with them. One of them is probably just Brian Kibler. I've watched his content for a long time, both in like Hearthstone and as a commentator for a lot of tournaments, and his Magic content with Commander at Home and a bunch of other stuff. I think he's hilarious. I think he'd be really interesting to have on. He's also literally a pro Magic player and has done incredibly well. So I would love to just pick his brain about just how that all works. Plus, I didn't know this until I watched one of his streams one day and just randomly caught it. But he's actually from Idaho. Like, he's actually an Idaho
really?
kid. Yeah, he's from like Eastern Idaho or something.
Wow. Another potato boy.
Yeah,
Huh?
I know.
Oh.
So it's like, yeah, hey, we're also Idaho boys. You want to jump on and have a little chat? But I don't know how he feels about his Idaho heritage. Maybe he's embarrassed.
He's one of the gems from the gem state,
Exactly. Hey,
Oh, yeah,
look
yeah.
at that. That's nice. That's a nice way to put it.
I personally call him Kibler to the Nibbler because he gives me sweet kisses sometimes.
And there goes our shot.
Hey, Kibler, reach out. Reach out.
The other one that I would be interested to have, and this isn't necessarily like a Magic content creator, but somebody who I'm pretty sure plays Magic, and I want to have them on to talk more about it. He's pretty big in the podcasting world. I want Travis McElroy on this podcast. He is the middle brother from the McElroy brothers who do the podcast My Brother, and Me. Their podcast is so funny, guys. Like, I've listened to it for like 4 or 5 years at this point. They're so funny. Okay? They've got their crap together, and they're so great to listen to. They've also got a D&D podcast with their dad. It's so fun. And a couple times, Travis McElroy has made Magic the Gathering jokes. He made a joke back at when Bloomborough just came out. He made some comment about how is Bloomborough affecting the standard format, and it landed on deaf ears to the other brothers, but I caught it, and I'm like, now hold on. I need to talk to
I'm
this
picking
man.
up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I need to talk to this man, figure out what he knows about Magic and how we can get him on the podcast. He's just got such fun energy, and I think it would be so fun to have him on.
That would be cool.
And then my other one is, I don't know, there's two, but I will probably say Small Ant, the speedrunner. He also plays Magic. He showed up in one of the professor's videos about like playing Magic as fast as possible or whatever. and he showed up with a really cool Kethis the Hidden Hand deck, which is like a black, white, green deck built around legends. And it was such a neat deck. The whole point of it was casting an X spell that, like, when you play it, reveal the top X cards of your library, put all legends that you revealed onto the battlefield, and then using Kethis to recast that spell over and over again. Um, it was just such an interesting deck. And I just, he's so funny to watch do speed runs and just so fun to watch his content. I would love to have him on to talk about Magic the Gathering, you know? I think that would be great.
I'd love to see him speedrun Magic the Gathering, like first to lose,
Dude,
wins the game, you know?
CEDH.
Like,
I want him in a CEDH pod. Play to win. Get Small Ant on your show. He's a great
That sounds
speedrunner.
like a great spot.
He knows exactly how to speedrun games. Watch this man.
Sounds like he would play a turbo list.
Yeah. He's a Rogside player. He's a speedrun guy for sure. I just think it would be funny in like a 60 card format for him to have an opening hand of Swamp, Darkrit, 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 Phage. I lose the game. Game over. Speedrun complete. Any percent. You didn't say I had to win.
yeah, any percent.
No,
That's funny.
I think those are like my top three would be Brian Kibler, Travis McElroy, and Small Ant, who I believe his legal name. I'm not kidding you. I think his legal name is Tanner Minecraft. I think he changed his last name officially at some point for a joke. So
that's almost good as Kibler the Nibbler. It's almost as good.
Again, Zach.
You wouldn't get it, you know. It's a me and a Kibler thing, you know. You just some people don't get it, but I do. I get it. Kibler, he gets it too.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the rest of our questions for the day. The first question we got comes from Tristan, aforementioned hopeful guest.
Next podcast star.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
He asks, how do you make an awkward number of players work for podding up? For example, if you have 5, 6, or even 7 people, is it better to play in just a big pod, or is it better to break it out into like a 3-man group and like a 4-man group? How is that? How do you do that? And he asks for some advice on that.
Okay.
It never comes up because Magic players don't have friends.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know,
wow.
man. Cockatrice just puts me in a room of 4. I don't know. Arenas 1-on-1, I never have to worry about it. No. Nate, what do you think?
So I think it can be done a few different ways. I think if you want to play in a bigger pod, not playing strictly Commander is the better way to go.
Yes.
Playing secret roles, playing some kind of Emperor or Star or some kind of variant where there's extra added in, so that way it keeps it more fresh and more, you got to keep track of a little bit more stuff, because big players or big pods of Commander get so tedious because it's even longer before it gets back around to your turn.
Right. And it's a scaling issue, right? Like
it is.
So the bigger a Commander pod is, the higher the goal is to end the game. In a 4-player Commander pod, your goal is to deal 120 damage-ish, depending on life gain, to your opponents. Or deal 30 poison to your opponents, right? So
or play a card that says I win.
Or just play a card that says I win, the CEDH way. But as you add more people, you are making it that much harder for you to pull off the win condition. So in a 5-person pod, now you're looking at 160 life you have to delete, or 40 poison, 200 in a 6-player game. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and more people you add, the more complicated it gets. So yeah, changing up to an alternative format like Emperor, where you just have to kill one specific player, or Star, where your goal is to kill just 2 of the 5 players, really shrinks that down to a much more manageable experience.
Yeah. A great example of this was actually a event that I attended with Zack and his partner, where
that's me.
Yep, that's Zack. Our Zack. So when we were playing a 2-headed giant event at the store that I played previously at, Pro Soul Games, they had 3 teams, and we're like, well, we could do round robin, so everybody gets a bye, and then everybody gets to play everybody else, or we have 6 people. So we could just bust up into 2 teams of 3 and play an Emperor game instead.
Yeah.
And that ended up
So
being
it's
a
like a
lot of fun.
sealed emperor, which was really cool.
Yep.
Because then you
That
could
is
like trade
interesting.
cards between all 3 people, and you put your packs together.
That is
It was
so
really
Yeah.
cool.
cool.
It was tons of fun.
Yeah, I would just
Yeah.
say no matter what you do, a 5-person pod is gonna be tough. Don't you dare play a 6-player pod or a 7 if you're not gonna do an alternate format, okay? If you're just like, oh, we have 7 people here, let's just get a 7-player game going. Don't do
No,
that.
no, no.
Just a 4 and a
That's
3,
so annoying.
okay? Do a
Yep.
4 and a 3. All right, split it up. One pod's gonna have 3 players, but that's fine, okay? It's so much better than the utter slog that is going to be trying to do a 7-player game. I have sat through an 8-player game of Commander once, okay? It was a birthday party when I was younger, and I invited a bunch of friends over, and we just played this big old game of Commander, and it was a nightmare. I actually won it, surprisingly, because I just sat at the corner of the table and was super quiet the whole time while my other friends were just, taking out grudges on each other. And then I was sat there with like 2 other players and I was playing Gitrog and I was just like, hey, check out this Dakmor salvage combo. And I just won. So that was nice. But yeah, don't do it, guys. Don't do a big pod.
No.
Love yourself. Have some respect for
I-
yourself and your time. Don't do it.
I have a hard enough time getting 3 other players to care enough about the game to pay attention,
Oh,
let
yeah.
alone like 5 or 6 other players.
Look,
like,
Right.
It's such an issue. You sit down at a table and one person pulls out their phone between their turns, and then it comes back to
Yep.
them, and they're like, "Okay, what happened?" It's like, come on, dude, knock it off. But in
or
a
it's like,
7,
oh, I play this. Oh, well, I was going to counter it. Well, we already went through combat and we're in the end step now. Like, what do you
Right.
want from me?
We're like 3 turns later, man. It's too. But in a 7-player game, that's fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, in a 7-player game,
You should be on your phone. In a
I would
7-player
also
game.
just
You
say,
should be.
okay, pass the turn, whip out my old Game Boy, and just start playing a game on there, and just be like, I'm out, dude. Just if you kill something, I have no response. Okay, just let me know if I'm being attacked so I can block. I don't care. Yeah, don't do a big pod, guys. Just don't. It's so bad.
Yeah, I think once you get that's 6. Because if you're playing a 3-player pod, you can get more games in, and then you can switch around people. There's one game night that we did with one of our buddies, and I guess Zach's brother, where we
I have a
had
brother?
7 people show up,
You have so many brothers,
and
Zach.
we had 7 people
Oh,
show up.
God.
So we had 2 different pods. And what we did was we had the winner from the pod in the living room move to the pod in the kitchen. And then the loser from the pod in the kitchen got kicked out to the pod in the living room. And so it kept moving things around to keep things fresh and stuff. And like most of the games were like half hour, 45 minutes, and then you switch them around.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, and this was a very common occurrence at our Friday Night Magics at Zach's house growing up, right? Was we would often have 10 to 12 people. And so, do we do a big game of Commander or do we do a couple small pods? Well, let's say we had 11 people that night. We can get 2 pods going, and then there's 3 people left over. What do those 3 people do? Well, somebody probably brought a PlayStation or an Xbox, set them down, get them playing some other game, like Halo, or we had a Wii, so sometimes we'd play Super Smash Brothers. Just set them down, play something else for a little bit, wait until a game is done, and then losers and winners rotate out. Let's get some new people in, get some fresh blood in the pod. Just keep it going like that. That's all you got to do, guys. Please love yourself. Don't play a game over 5 people. Don't do a 5-player pod if you can help it, but just don't do anything above that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, having that thing on the side can be great because as somebody who is known for getting salty on occasion, it's just nice to take a break from Magic if it's getting you grumpy and upset to go do something else where you can take a breather.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been there. I walked away from several of our Friday night game nights genuinely so upset I thought I was just gonna quit.
Yeah.
Like there were some
Good
nights where
times.
I'm just like, dude, I'm out. I hate this game so much. And yeah, I do sometimes, but I also love it too much to quit. All right, so we've got a second question here from Tristan, who honestly, this man has submitted so many questions, so I think our guest episode with him would just be us grilling him for questions and us answering them.
Yeah, we have him answer questions for us.
Oh, yeah, there we go. But yeah, we got another question from him. He says, how do you go about finding or making budget cards to replace really expensive staples? So, how do you find replacements for those, or how do you make do? Zach, what's your strategy?
Tristan, look at me, Tristan. You only need one kidney. All right? All right? Magic cards aren't that expensive when you only got one kidney. All right? Let me tell you,
Zach,
as someone with only one kidney. No,
wait.
You also don't need a soul. Let's just say the devil makes some good deals. And the Wizard Coast might as well be a devil.
Hypothetically, Zach, if I've already sold a kidney and my soul, now what? Now what do I do?
You only need 0 kidneys.
Oh my gosh, wait.
Okay, get a dialysis machine to go along with those magic cards.
Yeah. Honestly, just find what card you want. So let's say Deflecting Swat. Very good card. Very good staple. Yes. Just look up cards similar to Deflecting Swat. And then, hey, there's a Bolt Bend. Oh, there's a Wild Ricochet.
Redirect
these are pretty affordable, similar options.
Redirect Lightning.
Yeah, and
Redirect Lightning from the new
you're never going to get the exact same power level as you did from the original. That's why the original is expensive. But honestly, in a lot of places, it's going to be good enough, right? Deflecting Swat is really popular because it's 0 mana if your commander is out. And in a format like CEDH, that mana difference really matters. Having something that's available when all other resources are gone really matters. In a longer game with more resources, like just a traditional EDH game, having 1 red mana for a Bolt Bend is a lot more reasonable.
Yep.
I would say
I think just Googling cards similar to what you're looking for would definitely be the best start.
Just take the text box of the card you want and copy it into Scryfall to get similar cards. Just drop a couple words so it's not the exact same cards being pulled up. But just, if you're looking for Deflecting Swat, just use Scryfall and look for cards that say change target spell ability. And it will pull up a bunch of different effects that will allow you to do the same thing.
Also, on top of that, is finding things that have a similar enough effect, but are less scary.
Yeah.
Try to remember. So most everybody's familiar with Smothering Tithe, enchantment for 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you create a treasure unless they pay 2. There's cards that are a whole lot less scary than that are still pretty powerful and do a lot of the same thing. Like, trying to remember what the Smuggler's Stash, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, where it's like if at every end step, if your opponent drew 2 cards, you draw a card. If they had 2 or more lands enter, you make a treasure. If they cast 2 or more spells, you do an effect. Like, those sort of things are really good. Mengar the Diplomat, if you're attacked, you draw cards. If they cast 2 or more spells, you draw cards. Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff, is a very similar effect where for just 1 white and 1 black mana, you get a 2/1 that says whenever a player, including you, casts their second spell each turn, you lose a life and make a treasure. So in a Smothering Tithe situation, ideally, at the minimum, you're going to get 3 treasures, right? Well, in a faster paced game or late in the game, Lotho's going to do the exact same effect, just lose you 3 life in the process.
Right.
And it's more reliant on the opponent casting 2 spells. But
it is.
Yeah, but then these are all situational as well, because there's going to be games where somebody's going to draw 52 cards, and you're going to get a lot of cards off Smothering Tithe. But Smothering Tithe also is you played Smothering Tithe, I'm going to target you. If I see somebody play a Smuggler Share, I'm like, cool story, buddy, and then I'm going to keep going with my day.
What does that do?
It's not as scary.
Exactly, yeah.
What's that card do?
Yeah. Sometimes playing those.
I like the raccoons.
Yeah. Raccoons are cute.
Now, if you don't care about, or if you really do care about the effect being that specific, and you're fortunate enough to play in a situation where people are very friendly, perhaps, or at a CEDH table, there's a great little answer for you, and that is to proxy it, as I have heard it called. Just get the Hewlett-Packard Masters, HP Masters version, or whatever your printer will give you. Exactly.
Yep.
So my usual method is I go to a website, and let me double check this so I don't get this wrong.
I just go to Scryfall and then a Google document, and I will copy and paste the picture and then put it into a 3.5 by 2.5 image, and then just have about 9 of them on a single page, and you can print them all out and then cut them out. And you just slide in front of a basic land card or a card like draft chaff that you don't need into a sleeve, and it works out perfect.
So the website I was looking for, it's called mtgprint.net. It's literally just you paste a deck list in there, and then it will pull up all of the card images that it is going to print for you. You can select different printings and different artworks. Like, let's say if your printer is running low on black ink and you don't want to print a bunch of the white and black Innistrad cards, you can change the printing to have a little bit more color in there. And you just print a bunch of them. You just set it up, give it the cards you want, give it the art you want, hit print. It literally just prints out exactly what you described, Zack. It's just a 3x3 sheet of cards to just cut out, slide in front of a sleeve, and you're good to go. And that's exactly what I've done with my CEDH decks.
Perfect.
I have
them.
It's
one of the great parts about CEDH.
Yeah, CEDH is probably one of my favorite ways to play, just because it's Commander with the greatest problem of Commander solved. Because with Commander, the biggest problem you will ever run into is a mismatch in power. People not accurately describing or intentionally obfuscating their own power level is going to cause a lot of issues. So what do? You play CEDH, because everyone has agreed that if you're going to play CEDH, you're going to play your hardest with the best cards in the best way possible.
And the best part is it should always be proxy friendly. Yeah. Not every store is, but it should be if it's truly CEDH, because financial barrier should not be preventing you from playing at the highest level.
As we say, I want to play you. I don't want to play your wallet.
Wallets don't have arms, so they can't even play with
cards. That does make it a little tricky. But yeah, the way I've set it up with my CEDH decks is I will make a physical card list of things that I do have, so it's a legal deck if I play somewhere where they don't allow proxies. And then I'll put proxy cards in front of cards that I'm cutting from the other list, so that way it's just a quick switch back and forth when I need to de-proxy my deck effectively. But yeah,
that's a good way to do it.
If you need to find budget replacements for physical cards and you're not allowed to proxy, just look up something similar on Scryfall. If you're in a situation where proxying is allowed, just do that. It's really cheap to print from your local library, and I will rep a local library as the greatest place to give your money. So go there, take the files with you on your phone or a USB drive, print them off, pay the fee, because libraries need your money, and you're good to go.
True.
Yeah.
You could also, everybody's got a friend who has spent way too much time, knowledge, and brain space to know every card existing in Magic, basically. So go to them and ask them, be like, hey, I have this card that I think would be really good, but I'm not going to pay $70 for it. What's a good card to swap it for? And they will probably have an answer right off the top of their head. Yeah. And if not, they will know which one to find or where to find it.
Find that one dude in your LGS who has enough spare Alpha Dual lands to put in his random commander decks. He probably knows a good replacement.
Yeah, probably.
All right, next question. We want to start doing something where we're going to take just like a quick rules question from listeners, just because myself and Nate have some judge experience and some difficult rules interaction questions that we have answered in the past.
And I'm here.
Zack, you've got some good knowledge too. Whenever we have questions, you've also pretty much got it down. So I'm just saying, because Nate and I specifically have judged, but because of that, you haven't gotten a chance to judge. So, but anyway.
I judge you guys all the time.
Wow, rude. We want to take a quick section in each of our podcasts going forward, and we're going to try to do just the rules corner, where you can submit rules questions that you want answers to, as complicated or as simple as you want to get. We want this to be an open space where, if beginners don't know how something works, or if intermediate players have discovered a interaction they don't understand, go ahead and send it to us, and we will do our best to answer it. We're going to try to answer it from our own knowledge, and if we can't, we will point you in the direction of a lot of great resources that can help you to understand the rules just a little bit better. So, the first rules corner that we're going to get to is from Vic the Wizard, who, by the way, haven't heard from you in a while, Vic. Miss you.
Big kiss, little kiss.
Haven't heard from you in a while, Vic. Just send us some questions, man. Come on. We miss you. All right. He asked us in an email, if you have to discard a card with no cards in hand, what happens? Well, I got good news for you, Vic. This one's really quick. Nothing. nothing happens. Because you have no cards to discard, you don't discard any. It's like drawing a card. Well, I guess that's not a good idea. Drawing a card from an empty library kills you. It's like milling a card from an empty library. There's no cards there, so when it tells you put that many into your graveyard, you just don't. And because no cards moved, right, you didn't actually discard any cards from your hand, nothing happens. So, if your opponents have effects that say, whenever an opponent discards a card, do this thing, they didn't happen because you didn't discard. It's just basically ignored. If you're told to discard a card from an empty hand, you just ignore it.
No, Vic, legally, you do have to, when you are required to discard a card with no cards in hand, you are legally required, per the Magic rules, let me tell you, to do jazz hands.
Yes, I forgot. That is rule 69.420b. You do have to jazz hand every time you have to discard from an empty hand.
Yep.
So there you go, Vic. Quick answer for you.
Sorry, continue with what you were going to say, Nate.
Okay, yeah. My only thing to go on top of that is there is the slight difference of if you have to discard a card and discarding a card as an additional cost.
Yes.
If you have to discard a card and it's additional cost, you become a very sad boy and don't get to do the thing that you are trying to do because you can't discard, so you can't do it. Not allowed.
Yes. So things
do not
like
pass go, do not collect $200.
Tormenting Voice is the most common of these effects. It's 1 mana and a red mana for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Because you can't discard a card, you basically can't cast the spell. It's like if you didn't have a red mana to cast it. You're missing part of the cost, and therefore you cannot play the spell.
There's actually a guy at our one of my local LGSs who made a CDH version of Rydia, Summoner of the Mist from Final Fantasy.
What in the world
It's
is that card?
red and a green for a 1/2 legendary creature human shaman that says landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And he thought that even if you didn't have a card to discard, you would still draw a card. And so it's very, very specifically, it says you may discard a card. So if you don't discard, you do not draw.
Yeah, it says that it has the if you do words in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There may be some things that say, like, when this enters, discard a card, then do a thing. That will trigger no matter what, if you have a card to discard or not. But if you see a part on a card that says, if you do a thing, if you haven't been able to do that effect or pay that cost, you do not get the following effect.
Yeah.
So all right.
That is the short of it.
All right. We got a question here that our own Zack wanted to pose to us. So, Zack, why don't you go ahead and ask this one from us?
On theme for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I thought it would be fun to think of what Magic the Gathering characters would be most thankful for at a Thanksgiving table. So, like, what would Jace Beleren be most thankful for? When you're, at the typical question time of like, what's everyone most thankful for when you're eating Thanksgiving?
Oh, geez. I think Jace would probably just be thankful. I don't know. Would he just be happy?
For his family. For his family.
For his found family.
For loot. For his little babies,
Grateful for his found family. I could see that.
Grateful for being able to remember things,
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of memory before. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's as a mind mage,
it's
a big piece of your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chandra is thankful for matches and
fire, the light of flames.
For ways to cook, for cooked food. Really just food to cook, because she does the cooking automatically, but she's grateful for the food to cook.
That's fair.
What about Nicol Bolas?
Mm-hmm.
Nicol Bolas is thankful for being free again after only being locked up for about 5 years. He basically got to live the SpongeBob meme. If you're going to commit the crime, be willing to do the time.
Yeah,
gotta do the time. All right,
time's up.
Grateful for people to manipulate.
Yep.
Grateful for worlds to conquer.
Grateful for the time spent in the meditation realm to meditate.
Right.
I don't know if he's so grateful for that, but maybe.
Maybe before it was his prison, but yeah.
Yeah. I think Garuk is very grateful for those giant beasts to hunt, and now that he is no longer cursed, he can go back to doing that.
Yeah.
Going hunting really cool things across the multiverse.
Garrick's grateful
for
nature.
What about Norin the Wary? What's he grateful for?
He is, we will never know, because the moment we bring out the food.
Let's get him on the phone right now, actually. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
he's gone.
exactly.
Sorry, he already ran away.
Let's get him out of the green room. Bring him on in.
He has already blocked my number. I had never called him before, and somehow it is already blocked.
You thought about calling him? No,
yeah.
Yeah. He's also got a thing on his phone where it just automatically blocks people as soon as the number's created.
Right.
It's blocked.
Blocked. Doesn't want to talk to anybody. He's done.
Nope.
What about Jeroff and Gissa? What are they thankful for?
I think they're grateful for each other, as part of family.
Yeah.
And somebody to fight with because they're bored all the time.
Things that stitch them together,
Yes.
Yep.
Grateful for graveyards for putting all their necessary toys in one convenient spot.
Right. They're all nice and close together, easy for stitching together and raising the dead.
Yep.
And raising our spirits.
Exactly.
I think they just do the meat sacks, but
Yeah.
I think the spirits get left behind.
You always got food on the table.
What do you think Rogue Rock is grateful for?
Being here. Being a part of it, Not being sacrificed to spells.
This tiny little goblin man who is used only for fodder. What is he grateful for?
Whoa. He's a tiny little kobold man. Thank you very much.
Sorry, kobold, not goblin.
Put respect on his name.
Respect on the 0-1 archetype.
He has menace.
Yes, he does.
He is very menacing. Although, I have seen plenty of dogs that I get spooked because they got enough voice to them that it freaks me out for a second. I feel like Rogue Rock's kind of like that.
Yeah.
The little yappy dog.
That's fair.
Rogue Rock is a Chihuahua, confirmed. Who else?
That was my Thanksgiving question.
Appreciate it, Zach. That's a good little thought experiment and a reminder to be grateful for our things in our lives. Be grateful for us and the fact that you get to listen to us. I know this episode comes out after Thanksgiving, but still.
Be grateful for that.
Close.
Yeah, be grateful that Thanksgiving is over. If you have a family that you don't enjoy spending time with, be grateful for that.
Be grateful for the memories you made with family. If you do like your family and got to spend time with them.
Absolutely. Be grateful that the food was good if it was. Be grateful that you didn't have to eat much if it wasn't.
And be grateful for Magic the Gathering.
Absolutely. this wonderful, terrible game that has bonded us all together, has mana bonded us all together.
Yep.
All right. Zach, cool. What's your next question then? What do you got for us?
All right, here's another question. It's not so much a question, but like a feeling, You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah.
When I got back into Magic and started playing Commander again, I really struggled with, and I don't know if this is just a me thing, being social anxious person of humanity, but like I struggled to win. Like I felt bad for winning the game. Even though that was like the main goal, right? Like I felt bad winning. And I don't know if that's something that like newer Magic players feel, or like if you guys ever felt it, but like I feel bad for winning. Like I feel bad for my opponents because like I won the game.
Yeah. I don't know how Nate feels about this, but I can definitely agree that I have felt bad winning at times. And it definitely is dependent on how I won. If I'm looking through my deck and I look down, it's turn 5, and I have just now realized that 3 of my cards present an infinite damage loop, then, I'm a little bit sad. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I wanted this to be longer. I feel bad I just won like this,
Yeah. I definitely had the feel bads for that before. And it's usually when it's like getting to a consistent thing where I'm like winning a lot, which is kind of funny and kind of counterintuitive because like, yeah, I'm winning a lot. I'm good at this game. I'm playing my deck well, but also it feels bad because I want to see other people's cool stuff happen too.
Yeah. And I think it is also very situational on like the pod you're in. For example, at a CEDH pod, I never feel bad about winning. No matter how bad I feel about it, or no matter like how terrible the win was, if it was like really cobbled together, or if it was so fast that nobody stood a chance, I don't feel bad because that's the game we signed up for.
That's what we all agreed on.
And I also don't feel bad if one of my opponents is a jerk. Okay, if I beat him like even just if I don't win, but I knock them out super early, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. We had one game, uh, like a year ago at this point. There was a player at one of our stores who was a good player and had a lot of great cards, and bragged about going to a lot of different CEDH tournaments, and doing really well at them. And he seemed like a friendly enough guy, but he did win a lot. And spoilers for later in the story, he doesn't go to any stores in the area anymore because he got caught trying to sell stolen cards back to the store
Okay.
To the local store.
to the store where the employee who had had the cards stolen, he tried to sell it back to his store. Yeah, didn't go well for him. He's not in the area anymore. Bye. Anyway,
Makes sense.
I played against him twice in a night, and in the first game, it was me, him, my sister was in our pod, and then another player who I don't really remember. But this opponent who will not be named, attacked my sister relentlessly because he was just like, I smell weakness, and just went for it, right? Because she was having a hard time getting her deck up and running. She just wasn't established well enough. She got knocked out so fast without feeling like she got to do anything, and it really upset her. And I got defensive because I love my sister. I love my family. You don't do that, okay? And he felt like he did feel bad at all. And we had told him, all of us, like, hey, lay off, like, give her a chance to breathe. And he was just like, no, man, if I can go for a kill, I'm getting a kill. And he just wiped her out. And so we go to the next game, and he's in my pod again. And I determine I'm going to do everything in my power to just absolutely annihilate this guy. And I get a great hand for knocking out one player. I'm playing my Davros deck, the Dalek commander from the Doctor Who stuff. Not really super important, but what it does is, at your end step, you're making 3/3s with Menace, and the point is you're trying to be constantly attacking and pressuring life totals. Anyway, I got him down to, like, let's see, what was it? I hit him at one point very early, like turn 3. I had been ramping a ton, and so I hit him for like 15 or 16 damage at this point, right? And he goes from like 35 to 15. And then in my second main phase, I just play a wound reflection, which says at the beginning of each player's end step, they lose life equal to the amount of life they've lost this turn. And so turn 4, I believe it was, he was gone. He was just out of the game. And I did not feel bad about that kill right there. I'll tell you that. I felt very good about taking this guy that I just did not like because what he'd done to my sister and just completely wiping him out of the game. I was like,
you know what I'd recommend to him?
Yeah.
Our episode 2 on Anti-Ward. It seems like he
You know what?
I'd really use it.
You know what I'd recommend
you could also use not stealing people's property.
Yeah, I would recommend him a course on morality and ethics.
And it's pretty easy to not be a dick.
And also probably a Sesame Street episode about not stealing and respecting other people's belongings. That's what I would offer to him. Oh gosh.
Understandable. But going back to it, is there ever like moments where you do feel bad for winning, and or maybe you like sandbag a win, even though you could like end the game, you just choose not to?
Yeah, I've definitely had those games. It's usually, I mean, if you played Magic for any amount of time, everybody's had that game where they're like, oh man, that was a good game. Everybody gets to do something. Everybody's participating. Everybody's interacting.
Yeah.
Those games, I have no problem winning because everybody played. But I have had games where I'm like, I'm popping off a real hard, real fast. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, look at my hand. I'm like, I could chain 2 or 3 turns together. And unless they stop me, I could win the game pretty easily. I'll be like, I want to see what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
And then I will sandbag the chain to make it a little bit longer out and do that. Some players wouldn't like hearing that I'm doing that, but
they never know.
I would defend sandbagging your win in certain situations. If you're playing with established friends, there's no need to sandbag, right? You all know each other. You all are going to play more after this. Just go for the win if you have it, right? But if you're playing with strangers and maybe you want to play another round with them and suddenly your deck has given you the magical Christmas land turn 2 win, I might hold off, I might stay back from that and say, you know what, I could have done it, and I wouldn't tell them this. Just realize that I could have done it, but I chose not to because I value the game that we are going to have, and I value their time and the effort, their willingness to let me play with them. I want to play again with them. I would say I also avoid winning too quickly and feel bad if I do win too quickly when there is a newer player at the table. If there are teaching moments to be had, if there are opportunities where they could have learned something, I will hold back because I want them to have a fuller, richer game with more going on, and I don't want it to just end out of the blue. And if I beat them without them really understanding why they lost or how they could have prevented that, to me, for a newer player, that is a failure on my part to help bring people into this game. I want people to know how they can play and how they can play better. And if I'm winning super quickly or out of the blue with no warning, I feel bad about that because that doesn't teach them anything.
Yeah, I actually find myself sometimes purposely making it better for them if they're a new player. Like I'll be like pointing out things a little bit more like, oh, you could do this really cool thing with these two cards. Or like actively not in like a competitive environment or anything like that. Like if I paid money to be there, I won't. But if it's just like a casual game, I'm more than happy to like try to even like influence the game to make it so that they are doing better, so that they have a better time playing or so they enjoy playing more.
Right.
And show them where interaction goes, how they can play the game. You even be honest about like, hey, I have this in my hand, so, you know, save what you have for what I'm about to do, right? And just running yourself right into the threats and the responses that you know the new player's going to have to help them learn, right? To help them figure out what they can do.
And also, I also like going along kind of with that, where if I have a new player at the pod, I will be like, oh man, this guy played this card. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Watch
calling out
out.
things that's like might not be as clear for new players. Like I've seen there's an interaction between a Moonfolk and Kodama, the one that lets you put permanents into play. I think it's the West Tree.
East Tree.
West.
East.
We're all
West
directions.
West is the new one from the new Kamigawa set. East Tree is the one from the Commander Legends.
Okay, yeah. So that one, where this Moonfolk, you pay 1 mana, you return a land to your hand, you make a 1/1 spirit, and then Kodama says whenever a permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't from its ability, you can put a permanent from your hand onto the battlefield with a mana value equal to or less than that card's mana value. Tokens have 0, but lands also have 0. So you can put a land back into play, and then if it's a basic, it enters untapped. You tap it, make a Moonfolk, and do this. Person played the Moonfolk, and they had Kodama in the command zone, and our game had slowed down where like there's basically nobody being threat. I'm like, hey guys, just so you guys are aware, if it gets back to his turn and he plays a land, we basically just lose. He's gonna get infinite dudes. And so calling out things with newer players, I feel also leads to like a smoother game and the less feel bads if you do win because you're like, hey, I'm a threat. Can you deal with my stuff?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I have definitely though. Yeah, overall answer to the question, I do feel bad sometimes when I win, just because like, I almost feel like I've ruined their night by beating them, even if it was a fair match, even if we had a great game. You know, I still sometimes will feel bad about like, yeah, I gotta hit you for 30 here, and do you have anything? And they're like, well, I can try to fog, and it's like, I have a counter spell, and I still feel bad.
Sorry.
You know, it's just like, I'm so sorry, but I do have the answers here. I have the game ready to win, so I feel bad sometimes. I do, and maybe that's because of who I am, and I don't like making people upset. And so in my head, when they lose, they get upset, and so now I've ruined their night if I beat them. But yeah, I've definitely been there before.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we move closer to the end of the podcast, I want to check in with you guys. What are you guys doing outside of Magic? I know this week we got Thanksgiving, so it's mostly just going to be prepping for that. But you guys got any other fun plans coming up other than the traveling? Any books, movies that you want to recommend?
Zach, you got anything?
I'm thinking.
Okay, cool. if you're still thinking about it, I'll jump in there. So I've talked about it basically every week of the podcast.
Right, we're coming
But
up on
with
that Dragon
with
Con.
it's Dragonsteel Nexus.
Dragonsteel Nexus,
Nexus is
yes.
the main name of it. It used to just be called Dragonsteel, but that's also the name of his company, Dragonsteel Books. So they wanted to
Separate
change
it.
it. Yeah, and so they named it Nexus because it's a nexus of all of the stuff, Brandon
Right.
Sanderson, and then also other stuff. One of the things that I have to give Brandon Sanderson all the props for in the world is he is very good about getting the name out to his community about other authors and their works and doing things with other authors.
Oh, that's cool.
Smaller, bigger, not so much bigger, but on the same level.
Yeah.
And one of the authors that he is going to have down there is Pierce Brown. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He is the author of
I know his
a
brother
very
Charlie.
popular. Huh?
I know his brother Charlie, but that's
Zack,
it.
I don't think we're
Okay.
related, buddy.
Charlie Brown?
Oh,
Yeah.
peanuts.
Yep. Oh, peanuts. But Pierce Brown.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
No, you're good. You're good. It's fine. Pierce Brown is the author of the Red Rising series, and that one is a sci-fi series set place like hundreds of years in the future. Well, I think it's like 1,000 years in the future, where pretty much every planet in the solar system has been terraformed and conquered by man. But in order to do that, a group of people who had genetically modified themselves to be stronger and faster and stuff so they could live on the moon and do some of the other stuff, have conquered the rest of humanity and have forced them into a caste system with golds at the top and reds at the bottom. And the story follows a character named Darrow who tries to topple the system and thus the Red Rising. And then the second half, so there's 3 books in the first part of Red Rising, and then there's another currently 4 books. Is it 3? I think it's another 3 books, and then a 4th one coming out this next year, where it's a little bit time in the future, and then more stuff happens. I am currently reading the second book, third book in there. It's called Dark Age, and man, oh man, I love Brandon Sanderson's work, and I also really like Pierce Brown's writing style. Brandon Sanderson is very much a roller coaster kind of author, as I like to think about it. A lot of his books have a really big build-up, and then the end is just this crazy zip ride till the end of it, which is fantastic. It's called the Sanderlanche.
I love that as
That's
a
kind of a
name.
joke. Yeah, it's fantastic. But Pierce Brown has a lot of ups and downs. He's got a lot of the more interactive kind of roller coaster ride, and then he's got a lot of things that you don't necessarily see coming. But when you think back on the book, you're like, oh, there's this, and this that kind of point to what's going on here, or I could see how I get here because of this, and this that were brought up. He has a lot of really cool writing because he writes characters that feel real, and then also you can definitely tell that they're flawed. And like, yes, this person is flawed. Like the main character Darrow, he is very much a like, I am going to get the job done the way I think it should be done, and that can cause problems sometimes for him.
Sure. Along with
So
that,
I'm reading those books to try and catch up.
That's really cool. Is so this Dragonsteel Nexus, is that next week or the week after?
That's next week.
Okay.
Yeah, because Pierce Brown's going to be down there. Also, Matt Denneman, another book series shout out. You guys would probably like it, especially if you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I do. Yes.
And that kind of stuff.
That's good.
Matt Denneman, he writes the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and that is basically like, what if we had a battle royale where everybody that survives a massive cataclysm on Earth had the opportunity to go into a dungeon and try and get through 18 levels to win the Earth back. And it's got humor. Yeah, it's got humor kind of like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
The super funny part about it is minor spoilers. That's like basically the first chapter in the book. The main character survives the cataclysm because he chased his ex-girlfriend's prize-winning Persian cat out into the winter cold because she just jumped out the window. And once they get into the dungeon, the cat gets a special pet biscuit that makes it so she basically has human intelligence.
Oh no.
And so he's running around the
Yeah.
dungeon with this cat named Princess Donut.
Oh gosh.
So
Amazing.
it's pretty great.
I think anybody who's a cat owner will realize how terrible of an idea it is to give a cat human level intelligence.
Yeah, it
We
is.
We are their pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's fantastic. My buddies read the first two books. My Matt Denneman was there last year at Nexus, and my buddy Tristan had read the first books that he had out at the time, and I hadn't got around to him yet. So I got a couple of the books from a local bookshop, one for him and then a couple for me, since figure why not pick them up and get them signed. And so I told him straight up when I handed him the books, I'm like, I haven't read your books yet, but everybody I've talked to loves them. And now I have, and I could not put them down. Like, I think I read through the whole 8 books or so that he has out for the series.
Oh wow!
In the course of like 3 months.
Nice.
Just power through them.
Speed run.
Yeah.
Smollett, where are you at?
Right. No, that reminds me of another book series that I enjoyed, and maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but I found it a very interesting book series. It was called Epic. So the premise of this book is that humanity lives on a different planet now, not Earth anymore. And centuries ago, ages ago, their ancestors came over on a generation ship, which is a sci-fi concept that's like, this spaceship will take, 80, 90 years to reach its destination, but is equipped to basically be its own mini planet with a biosphere and ways for people to, constantly make their own food and survive on the ship until they get to the planet. And this new planet where they're living, the economy and their like job force is almost entirely based on this highly advanced video game that had been put on the ship with them. If you earn money in the game, that's how you earn money to spend in real life. So say you need a repair for your car, you have to earn the money in the game to go get it. And it's very tricky to earn the money in this game. It's such a slog, and on top of everything, to make matters, even more of a nightmare, this game has permadeath. So if you lose your character, you lose everything it has equipped, all of your inventory, and all of your money. You basically go bankrupt if your character dies. And it follows the story of this boy who gets tired of dying over and over to his character, right? He's really just trying to make it big, break rich, so he can help his family. They work on an olive farm. And he decides one day that he's not going to follow the traditional min-maxing that everyone does. Because this game is people's lives, nobody wastes points on things like charisma, right? Or appearance, because those don't help you in combat, those don't earn you money, right? So they don't worry about it. He decides, forget it, I'm going to do that. He picks a character class that's like kind of out of the way, that isn't one of the ones typically chosen, because there's like hundreds in this game, and he points literally every stat point at the start of the game into beauty, and that's it. And he makes his female character, who is just like crazy beautiful by the game standards, and it's him kind of discovering that there's a lot more to this game than they think, that all this things that they've forgotten about, and him working with his friends to game the system and to show people how broken of a system they have. It's really kind of a cool book, and there's multiple books in the series. Epic is the first one, Saga is the second one, and then Edda, I believe, Edda, Edda is the third book. And I think there's one more, maybe a fifth, but I haven't read those yet. I read them when I was younger. I really enjoyed them. But yeah, it's definitely very much a me kind of book, where it's a sci-fi book about a really cool video game. So
okay,
very nice.
Yeah, Jack, you got a recommendation for us?
No recommendations right now, but what I'm up to is I am brewing. I've got a cauldron, I've got some cactus juice, and I am brewing up some Avatar Commanders.
Quenchy cactus juice. What are you brewing?
Quenchiest.
The pretty standard ones like Fire Lord Zuko,
sure.
Toph the First Metal Bender. We're thinking Avatar Aang probably, and then probably one of the Kataras, but we're not sure which one yet.
Yeah, I like
Nice.
mono blue Katara. Honestly, I know it's kind of a dirtbag mono blue commander, but that's up my alley, man. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Talk about the
very
experience
true.
one.
Yeah, experience the one where she gets an experience counter if
Jumpstart.
you're playing things on your opponent's turns, and then when she attacks, you draw a bunch of cards and discard a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that one a
Like,
lot.
man, I'm just super excited for all these experience guys.
Yeah,
It's
I
So many experience cards. Oof.
I have an experience counter 5 color deck that I will be slotting them all into.
Oh,
eventually.
Josh, you had a noble deck idea at one point, and this set gave us quite a bit of nobles.
That's true. Yeah, my 5 color decks, I have like way too many of them. And I was thinking maybe my next one I would build would be nobles with Kenrith, and yeah, this adds a lot more nobles to the party, doesn't it?
Most definitely does.
And a tutor for nobles. Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a couple more that I can add to this party, so it'll be very interesting. It won't be a good deck, but it'll be fun.
Bracket 1, baby. Bracket 1.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
might
flipping
also.
awesome.
Yeah, I also don't have a 5 color allies deck, which I feel like is kind of a whiff for me, you know? I have like all the
Yeah.
other big 5 color decks, but I don't have allies, so I should probably build a 5 color ally deck too.
Well,
Hey, we were
in
thinking.
all fairness, Allies was a deck that was you go for a Zulapart line or you don't win
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
Now you have options.
that's true.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at Avatar Aang being like as many of the main name characters as we can put into it with like a sub ally theme to make it kind of work.
Sure.
That
That's
was
kind of
that.
how I did it with my
That's pretty
noble
good.
deck. I'm just now remembering I actually did brew up a noble deck, but it's the
Very
side
noble of you.
theme. Yeah, the side theme is legendaries and legendary permanents, right? So the point being that like I can play a bunch of these, powerful legends who are all nobles, but then also have things that like when a legendary permanent does a thing, you have this effect. Like flowering of the white tree just gives a little bit of a bigger bonus for legendary
For legends.
permanents. Let's see,
Yep.
there's another
You get some
couple.
+2/+1 and ward 1 instead
Yeah.
of a just blanket +1/+1.
Yeah, Shanid Sleeper's Scourge, which was the alternate commander from the Dominaria United commander decks. 1 red, white, and black menace. Legendary creatures you control have menace, and whenever you play a legendary land or cast a legendary spell, draw a card, lose a life. So it's just another one that's like, if it's legend based, I grabbed it, so I could kind of have that as a bonus. And Monarch as well as kind of a fun little sub theme.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
Nice.
having all the nobles, might as well have the
Might as
Monarch
well,
in there.
Yeah,
You gotta.
I have Starscream in the deck because he plays with Monarchy kind of interestingly, and I think it's fun. And a couple of the courts as well.
You have to have all the courts.
Nice.
You need all 5 of them.
You mean all 10? There's 5
Oh, there's 10?
from
Never
Commander
mind.
Legends and 5 from the alternate, like extra cards
The
from
Commander
Wildspell
decks, yeah.
Drain. So yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
The Eldraine ones tend to be stronger than the old ones for the most part.
Yes, they are. The blue one just like makes token copies of artifacts or enchantments. And so like every turn it's like, I want another soul ring at minimum, or just like a bunch of other crazy stuff.
I want another court. I want another court.
I
want another court.
Hang on, I think it can't target itself. Yeah, it can't target itself.
Okay. Yeah, you just get around that with a copy enchant.
True.
So you target the
True,
other
true.
one.
All right.
No, I have a buddy who built Obeka, and that's one of the ways he does Obeka shenanigans.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, I think that is going to do it for us this week. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions that you want to ask us, go ahead and email us at manabonded@gmail.com. We've mentioned a couple times that since we're so early on, if you email us your questions now, you've got a really great chance of getting them answered. Well, guess what? We have officially answered every single question that's been sent in to us so far. Like, we have not missed any now. So we're wide open for you guys. Send them in. We will answer them as best we can, give you the advice that you can follow or not. It's all up to you. If you like the music,
If you don't send in questions, you're going to get some unhinged questions from me. Like, what would be the most delicious creature from Magic the Gathering on a Thanksgiving table?
Loot would be delicious. Anyway, if you like the music at the start and the end of our podcast, that music is done by Steve Brown. You can find his music at stevebrownsongs.com. Our podcast art is by Shadow Equipex. His work is at the link in the description. You can also find us on social media, not just Twitter and Instagram at Manabonded, but now we're on Bluesky under the name Manabonded as well. Had some issues finding it earlier. I wonder if they've got like a new account protection for bots so it doesn't pop up immediately. But by the time this episode airs, you should be able to find us. I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else you want to mention here at the end?
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next week. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, I guess I shouldn't have said have a great Thanksgiving since we'll be after Thanksgiving, but oh well. It's fine.
Well, they're going to
Cut it
have a
out.
great
Fine.
Thanksgiving now.
Yeah, good luck shopping.